Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you by ShortTrackExclusives.com. I'm your host, Thomas Pattis, alongside two other short track guys in the studio, as always. Jim Pokrant, driver 07 Can'tQuitFishing.com sportsman and 2021 sportsman champion here at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida, and Ted Baber of Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
Greetings.
What's up?
Yeah, we're getting ready for a big race here, maybe in a week or so down in New Smyrna in the Red Eye 50-50 here with that super stock. Not really the sportsman, but a super stock here in that 07 Jim Pokrant stable. What's up with that?
Well, just fixing the derby damage, of course, and putting a new tailpiece on. Thank you, Ben Cranford.
Yeah.
Ben Cranford's paying for the fuel and driving the car down there, so thank you to him. Got to thank Ted. He's going with us. Mike Gorham's going to be down there with us. So we're going to go and have fun. And I have to really give a big shout out to the guys who race in this division. They've really reached out to me and been showing a lot of welcome and thank you. I mean, we were put on their website today as entered in the race. So that's really cool. And like I said, several of them have reached out. Hey, if you need anything, you got any questions, just ask us. We'll help you as much as we can. Paul, I don't know your last name, but I had some discussions with him. He sent me a couple of in-car videos. I really appreciate that. That's just really cool. Those guys have reached out and want us to come race, and we're going to go give it a shot. I mean, we got some new tires, we got fuel, we got everything covered. We'll just go give them a heck and see what happens.
Yeah, I know you've been excited, as we all have been, when that announcement came out that you made that deal to go down to New Smyrna and run the Red Eye in the Superstock division. We went over this, I think, last week in the episode, and just kind of update with some maybe new listeners. What are some of the changes that you're going to have to pay attention to go down and be successful?
Nothing huge. I mean, their ride heights are a little lower, but I don't think that's going to create a big problem. I'm just going to leave the car at the same ride height. I mean, there's more left side weight, 55%. We're allowed 53%. Their cars have to weigh 32. We got to weigh 3,100. So I got to add 100 pounds. It really don't have to add 100. I think we were 30 over at the Derby, so I just got to add 70 pounds of the car, and I'm going to add it to the left. We're allowed different offset rims, which I happen to have, so it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, main thing is just get all the damage fixed from the Derby. I got to replace an axle. The guy said the gears that I got's pretty close to what I need, so I'm not going to be off there. We'll just go down there and see what happens. Like I said, it's going to be neat. Thank you to all the guys that helped me. It was cool that we got put on their website as somebody coming down there. And, if things work out, we may go back down some other time later this year, because at Five Flag Speedway, we're only on the schedule for 8 races. So we got free time to go do other stuff. And not only that, but I might end up running some races in Ben Cranford's number 343 because, I'm allowed to run some pure stock races. So I may do that some this year too. And I'd like to add Montgomery to that list. And,
Get out a little bit and have some fun someplace else.
Yeah. I mean, it's an expensive hobby and it costs a lot, but I'm so thankful for my sponsors. I really got to thank, Rich Bonneberger at All Pools for his help this year. Without him, I wouldn't be able to do nothing. Victor Herm at Premier Window Tinting, you, Ted Baber, with all your help, Can'tQuitFishing.com. Of course, James Pfeiffer, thank you so much for what you do. Emerald Coast Remodeling and Trim, Mike Davidson, Escarosa Tree Service. He helped us out earlier this year. I don't know if he's going to be on board for next year. I haven't heard from him, but thank you for his help too. And, this year's been a really good year. I've had a lot of fun. I mean, our on-track performance has been terrible. I will admit it's not been what it's been in the last 3 years. We were a top 3 car every time we unloaded.
Right.
We've won several races. We won a lot of heat races. We were always a contender for the win. This year, not so much. It's a new car.
Yep, new car blues. I mean, you got to get it completely shaken out.
Oh, well, this one's got a whole different setup under it. I mean, it's completely different from what I'm used to running. It's got way more cross. The springs are different. And big shout out to John Ruth, my buddy, who helped me with the setup. I took the shocks to him and I put them shocks on and went out to practice for the Derby, and it was night and day. I mean, it's surprising how fast that car was. I gained 3 to 4 tenths of a second just changing the shocks. Yeah. So big shout out to John and his bunch and all their help. And Ben Cranford, I know I've mentioned him before, and Martin Beck. Frank Utzi, I got some sad news. He's going to kind of retire as my spotter. The Derby was his last time. I'm going to miss him. He's going to be coming to the races, but he's not going to be on the spotter stand. I don't know who yet. We're going to work that out. I'm hoping my buddy Zach is going to step up and do it. He's a great spotter. We could use him. And just 2022 has just been it's racing. It's what I love to do. I love the fact that we got the 343 running up front. Big help to Ben and his car, and Mike Gorham, and just, I mean, I've been to the dirt this year, hanging out, having fun. And what 2023 is going to bring, I have no idea, but we're definitely going to be on a racetrack somewhere having a good time.
Well, I know everybody was just absolutely shocked when we went from 20 point something to 19.7. We're like, where did that come from?
Yeah, right. I mean, you consider that's 9/10 off the track record, 9/10 off the pole, and I started sixth. Yeah. If we could have gained a couple, or 9/100, me, not tenths, but if we could have gained just that little bit, you know what I mean? So, and we didn't take the car off or anything because I was afraid of it running hot. Well, next year we'll tape it up and we'll do something different. But I'm proud of that. I really am. And all you guys that helped me, I mean, I can't thank Martin and all them enough for what they do with me. And Will, our buddy Will's only been to one race this year. I hope sooner or later we'll get him back because he's a great help. And,
he's pretty busy.
Yeah, driving a truck and stuff, man. He just couldn't. He's got kids. I get it. You know, it's hard to do. And I want to give a thanks to Kevin Mitchell for letting me use some of his equipment this year and bend the car. Kevin is a great guy if you don't know him. And one little shout out to next Tuesday night at Fast Eddie's. They're having Karting for Christ. I'm going to go for the first time. It's really neat. We ride go-karts and they have a speaker. Andy Pugh is going to be there this time. Andy Pugh used to race out of Five Flags, a modified winner, a winner in the vintage class, and a modified racer, and he was a late model racer for Tracy Goodson for a little while. Was a car chief for
Austin Dillon.
He was Austin Dillon's car chief for a little while. Now he's back in his little town in Alabama with his new daughter and his little kids, and he's enjoying life, and he's a great guy. But come out, Karting for Christ at Tuesday at Fast Eddie's. Lake Brooks and all them would love to have you. I just want to give them a shout out.
Yeah, for sure. Fast Eddie's here locally in Pensacola, Florida. I mean, there's a lot of fun times that we've had in the past here as far as racing goes, even go-karts, but they've got a couple of different configurations over there, and it's a great time, and what a great place to host something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to be fun, and it's a message for men and the Lord, so it's kind of a good deal for that too, and shout out to Caleb Burkett. He actually got saved last week, so I just want to give him a shout out on that. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh, boy.
Come on in, boys. The water is fine.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, that's the racing kind of thing down at New Smyrna at the Red Eye 50/50 with Jim and his Superstock going down there trying to bring that checker flag back home to the Panhandle that we're familiar with. But on the other side of that, with Ted, have you been to New Smyrna, and what kind of equipment and kind of plans do you have kind of set up with that?
I have never been there. I'm just going to go down there and take everything that I can imagine I will need, and then just take it from there, go out and do a little bit of scouting and see what's available, what I can do.
You set up different angles, or you're going to take some help with you?
Nah, well, no. I think we're pretty well loaded out right now.
Yeah, it's going to be four of us in a dually headed south, so it's
gonna be cozy.
Put a furniture in, and I mean I'm pretty sure we'll put our luggage in the trailer and get comfortable, and
Snark.
probably sleep a little bit anyway.
Well, I can imagine, like we had imagined before, bringing those trophies into the studio and the flags and everything. We take pictures and have a big Superstock celebration from the Red Eye 50/50. I know you've been preaching about taking your car to Opp and maybe Montgomery, but now you're making the trip down through a deal to New Smyrna with the Red Eye 50/50 and that Superstock. So I can't wait to see what happens and maybe get together with that trophy and take some pictures and put them up on our page.
That would be awesome. Like I said, we got a good race car. We know the guy behind the wheel does okay. So, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, Kyle Pettyfin was running fifth at Richmond and won his first race because everybody crashed. So, I mean, it could happen. You just never know. I promise you that this loose nut behind the wheel will be giving 110%.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. That's it. So,
yeah, just wake him up and he'll go.
We'll be all right. I love it. It's so much fun. I mean, and I got to thank Ben again, man, dude. This was all his doing. We weren't going to go, then we're going to go, then we weren't going to go, and then he said, "Go buy some tires." I said, "We're going." Heck yes.
Oh yeah, good times.
Well, that's coming up, and we can't wait to hear the results of that. And I hope to see that trophy and that checker flag. But we've got some schedules coming up. I think Ted's got a list of things that are coming up that really going to look forward to as well.
Well, we got. Oh,
I just want to say one thing. I made a mistake last week. I'd said that the Sportsmen don't run until April. I'm totally wrong on that. We run March the 10th, the same weekend as the first late model show at Five Flags, which is the Stars race. We run on Friday night, Sportsman and Pure Stock, and the super late models are going to have a practice. So just wanted to correct that because I looked at it and went, because the way it was worded, it looked like we weren't.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It just
It looked like practice. And I thought, why in the hell are we practicing? But we are racing, so everybody come out March the 10th, watch the Sportsman and Pure Stocks, and then come out March the 11th and watch that Stars race.
Yeah, I thought that was a little confusion last week when we said that, but now that we've got clarification that the Sportsman and the Pure Stocks will be racing Friday night on the 10th of March, it's official now. I kind of thought that's the way, but it just was confusing. But there you have it.
Yep. Well, the schedules that there's a lot of schedules. The one I'm talking about primarily is for Montgomery. They put out the 2023 Show Me the Money series schedule, and it starts on March the 4th with the Alabama 200, and April 29th will be the Spring Explosion 100, May 27th, the Disturbing the Peace 100, which lives up to its name every year. From what
Disturbing the Peace?
Yes, that's what it's called. And then on June 17th, it's appropriate since it is June 17th, Bring Dad to the Races 100. August 5th will be the Saturday of Speed 125. And then, as always, in September on the 30th, it's the Fall Brawl 100. And following that, also they've put out since it's a kind of based in Montgomery, the 2023 Modifieds of Mayhem tour schedule as well. It starts also on March the 4th with the Hunt for the Bear 59. Okay, that's at Montgomery. And then March 25th on the ARCA weekend, they'll be at Five Flags. May the 6th, the Watermelon 50 will be at Crisp Motorsports Park. June 10th, Music City 50, naturally, Nashville Fairgrounds. July 22nd will be the Battle at the Beach back here at Five Flags. August 19th is the Coca-Cola 50 at Mobile, which I think is going to be a very interesting race over there. October 14th, the Citrus 50 at Citrus County Speedway. And then October 28th, the Alabama State Championship, once again back at Montgomery. And the Snowball Derby on December 1st, they'll have a 75-lapper back here at Five Flags. And that's I love watching those modifieds. They're very small tires and a big motor. They're something to watch.
Yeah, we've talked about those ground pounders up there at Bowman Gray and some of the Wayland Tour up there in Michigan and Connecticut, and those Modifieds of Mayhem. Even though the car is a little different, but they're still bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are a handful. They get squirrely quick.
Oh, yeah, with that little bitty tire and that big horsepower, you're going to get sideways in a hurry. Those guys were talking about late model tires. I said, no, y'all would kill each other on late model tires. No.
Yeah, and the car count's really pretty good, too.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently.
Well, it is, yeah.
It's a good, consistent car count.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of modifieds, Bill Melvin, who's a modified racer, he's going in to have checkup on some cancer. He's going to ask for a little thoughts and prayers for him and his family. Number 145, he was injured on the backstretch at Snowball Derby a few years ago, got T-boned and messed his leg up really, really bad. And he's going for a bone scan. I just wanted to throw that out there. Well, we was talking about modifieds. Prayers to him and his family, and I hope he gets a clean bill of health.
Stan Narrison always puts together a really good group to keep that schedule together. I got props to him as well.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Good job.
Yeah, get well, Billy. We're pulling for you, buddy.
Yep.
So, there's some other stuff going on, and we mentioned last week, and I thought I had it mixed up, but, I might have, but the Tulsa Shootout.
Yep.
It's at SageNet Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They've got the Tulsa Shootout, then they got the Chili Bowls coming up in another week. And we tried to dab into a little bit of a dirt track scenario and get away from asphalt, but we want to keep it short track. But this is an indoor complex, and these races with the Chili Bowl and the Tulsa Shootout at the same complex, I think last year they surpassed over 1,000 entries. This year they're over 1,500 entries.
Yep.
That's
For
ridiculous.
the micro sprints and then the winged midgets and all that throughout this week and next week with the Chili Bowl and the Tulsa Shootout, which is actually going on now with practice, and they got prelims and all kinds of stuff. That is one of our dumpster list races to be.
It's got to be up there towards the top of that list.
Well, you know, the one thing that's super cool, though, they have like an A through a Z main. What happens when they run out of letters? It's going to be like an A1 main, an A2 main, a B3 main.
Double Z.
Yeah, double Z main. I mean, it's crazy the amount of cars they have, and it's the competition is incredible.
Alpha, Beta, Theta, Omicron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking the likes of Sammy Swindell, Tanner Berryhill, J.J. Yaley, Cody Swanson, Chase Briscoe, which we all know about.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a cat in there, Jordan Kinzer. And I kind of did a little research, thinking maybe Steve's son
He
or
might be in there
nephew. I don't know from what I've read when he's been asked if he's related to any of the Kinzers as fourth or fifth cousin. So I don't really know. They've got to be related somehow. But Jordan Kinzer actually runs with Chase Briscoe in that sprint team. So we'll see. I mean, but if you get a chance to find the sources online, go through, watching this the Tulsa Shootout indoors, the Chili Bowl coming up, and you want to talk about short track racing, dirt style indoors.
Well, it's
That's
so much
good stuff.
You watch those guys; they get them on 3 wheels, they get them on 2 wheels. I've seen Kyle Larson get one on 1 wheel before.
I've seen them roll over and keep rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, just keep and kept their position.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's some neat stuff. That's like that indoor race in Indianapolis where they run dirt late model stuff. That track gets to be like the wave. You're bouncing all over the place, but it's neat. It's something to see.
Yeah, I'll throw that out there too. We just go flowracing.com. Just throw it out there. Just go flowracing.com. They have their live videos, and you'll get to witness what we're talking about. It's pretty special.
Madness.
Craziness.
Short track at its best, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yes. So with all that being said, in a nutshell, kind of in a way, coming to the end of the year, first we're going to kind of get into this a little bit later, but we want to wish you all a happy new year and hope you had a great Christmas. But as far as 2023 goes, Jim, I would throw this to you, being an active driver. What do you expect in the next year as far as some of the changes you might come up with?
Well, some things I'd like to see, which will help, short track racing get better and will also help with the cost. I mean, right now things are insane. I mean, wheels that cost $60 2 years ago are $112 now. I mean, it's just the cost is just keep going up and up and up. And you got the teams with the money that want to add all this expensive equipment. I say keep the rules simple. Don't do anything silly. And we need to be able to tech and look and keep the rules we have and tech the cars. Find the things that's illegal. Get rid of the cars that are illegal. Make them fix them. Shocks. We need a shock claim rule. Let people spend $2,500 on a shock absorber for a street stock class. Okay. Engine wise. These crate engines, these sealed engines are great. Let's tear them down. Let's take the seals out so we can start looking and figuring things out. Things like tires. Instead of running us on new tires every week, this is something that Nashville does. They buy all the tires back from the upper divisions, the trucks, the modifieds, the outlaw stocks, and they buy them back. They put them in stacks of 4. You go over and draw a number. You pay $100. You get that stack of tires. Now, you may get a crap set of tires for this race. You may get a good set of tires for this race. You may get the worst set you've ever had. But it evens it out. It puts the fast guys on an old crappy set of tires.
Right.
And it's saving, I think a set of tires for our division is well over $400.
Yes.
That's a big saving.
Yes. And you're saving the small divisions money, which means more people can afford to race. Mm-hmm. See, they're talking about we need to get more cars. Well, you're not going to get more cars. If your payout doesn't improve.
Right.
Which there's ways of doing that, such as get more sponsors for the division. Hell, I don't mind putting stickers on my race car for a division. If the doc wants a sticker on the race car, they get a sticker on the race car. If Joe's Plumbing comes on board and puts $100 towards the race, we'll put a Joe's Plumbing sticker on the car. We need things like that.
Yeah, contingencies.
To up
of them.
Yes, up the cost of racing. Yeah. And this 50-50 crap, I'm going to call it, they claim 50% goes on the points fund. No, it doesn't. Our points funds have never increased, so that's a bunch of crap. Tracks need to stop doing that. Stop pocketing the money.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, take your expenses out of it and put the rest of it in the points fund. Split it up evenly amongst your local division. Okay, that helps. How about if a guy has a bad night, give him a free pass for the next race.
Right.
Hey, man, you had such a here. Look, here's a couple of pit passes for next week. Thanks for coming. Hopefully, that'll help you get your car put together. Or if a promoter knows somebody or can help you, call. That means more than anything. If a promoter picks up a phone and says, "Hey, man, are you all right? How's your car? I hope you can get it back out there." There's things we can do to get people excited. I think the cost is the main killer right now. Everything's expensive. That's why, people have used parts. We have that swap meet. That's a great thing. People come out and can buy used parts. Don't price your parts where people can't afford to buy them. Try to help out racers. Racers should help racers. I don't care if I don't like somebody. If they need a part and I got it and I can sell it to them dirt cheap, I'm going to.
Yeah, they're level playing fields in different levels.
That's
not just what you're doing with the car, but what you're doing with the track.
Well, here's the thing: stop letting people build a $50,000 street stock to win $500. Yeah. Okay, we can limit the cost, and we can limit how much you got, how much you spend. Like have a motor rule, have this rule, have that, but maintain your rules. I've heard people say, "Oh, we just need to just open the rule book up and just let it go." Well, because you're going to have the rich guys are going to win all the races. The poor guys are going to get pissed off and quit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's ways of leveling a playing field. Now, I'm not against a guy working harder than the next guy to get faster. That's fine. You can see that. But when somebody's cheating, they're cheating and the track doesn't do anything about it, it's upsetting. It upsets me. It upsets my crew. People don't want to come watch that. They don't want to watch one car stink up a show. So if one guy's winning all the races, as a tech official, as a racetrack, you should step in there and maybe come up with a rule like when you started winning races, they started adding weight to your car.
Right, exactly.
Here's 100 pounds. Here's 50 pounds. Here's 50 pounds. Until it slowed you down and brought you back to the field. That's what they did. There's things that can be done. I mean, the cost has got to come down. Trust me, I'm a low budget racer. I'll do what it takes to get on the racetrack. I've sold scrap metal. I've done everything I can to keep going. And it's getting to the point where even me wants to go, this is just the juice worth the squeeze.
Right. It gets ridiculous after a while. Somebody can just buy championships, basically what's happening. That's just not right.
Well,
nobody wants to run for second place all the time.
Oh, yeah, no. But the tech needs to do their job. Yeah. If they find something illegal, you can't just go, well, he ran it all year. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just said if, though. That's the thing.
You got to do the
You
job.
have to run into it. They're, and as well as I do, being down in that tech shed, what's going on in there. There's a bunch of politics down there.
Oh,
and there's favoritism, and there's money being thrown around, and I'm not gonna hide behind it. I know that's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
And it happens. And that's why you see guys run up front all the time, because the fans like it.
Well, the fans want to see competition. The fans want to see door banging. The fans want to see people passing for the lead. They don't want to see one car stretched out. Yeah, that's great if you're a fan of that guy, but if you're a fan of the guy running second and he's doing all he can do and he's struggling, it upsets you. You don't want to watch. Even in dirt racing, there's things we go lower cost. I've gotten into it with several people. Oh, dirt pure stocks are cheaper. How do you figure?
Yeah.
Well, tires last longer. No, they don't. If you're going to win in that class, you're going to buy new right side tires or new rear tires every single race. The guys that win in that class don't just show up with the old junk tires every single week, spin out or whatever. They buy tires. They buy good equipment.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that that's not true. Oh, well, they're cheaper. No, they're not. The tires are just as expensive. Well, yeah, but dirt this and dirt that. I said, you run into each other more on dirt. So more bent parts, more expenses.
Well, a little more subtly run into. I mean, you don't see so much hard contact in dirt because it is subtle. It's contact, yeah, and you get a little bent out of shape.
I don't know what dirt track you've been to, but I've seen folks door slam each other in my divisions. I mean, slam off in there, just right in the side of them.
Yeah, asphalt's a little different though. Asphalt is a pinpoint. When you run into somebody, something's going to happen, and you really more times than not in asphalt, you can't recover from it. As far as dirt goes.
Yeah, you can. Trust me. I've been hit plenty of times, turn straight sideways, just gas it up, crank the wheel to the right, and drive it out of it. But dirt racing is more damaging. There's more bent spindles. There's more bent parts. There's more bent ball joints. There's more tore up rims. If you've ever been to a Saturday night at Southern Raceway, somebody's going to come limping off with a destroyed wheel, killed fender, nose piece ripped off because somebody was being an egghead. But I love both forms of racing. Don't get me wrong. I think they're great, but you can't sit there and tell me that this class is cheaper when you're spending more money replacing parts than you are on an asphalt car. Wrecks happen. I get it. But you've got to figure out a way to lower the cost for the driver.
Right. Well, it's funny you say that. Wrecks happen. I want to extend an invite. And I know you're not a real big advocate and in favor of the simulation, but I would like to put you in the race seat here in the simulator with the street stock, a new Smyrna, and at least take a couple of laps to see at least what you can put together and maybe share a little bit in a further episode later down the road after the new Smyrna Red Eye 50/50 goes, and just kind of tell me how it relates to what you experienced. If your invitation is accepted, then we will start that process. But I think it will help.
I don't say that it wouldn't, but I'm a seat of the pants driver. See, now that'll help me get visual points. I get all that, and that would, I'm sure it does help. I'm not saying that it won't, but will it make me a better race car driver? I doubt it. But would it help me at going to a different racetrack? Absolutely.
Okay. Well, we're going to arrange that. So I'm taking that as the invitation has been accepted.
Yeah. I'll try it.
Yeah, and Ted will help too.
Try anything once.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm not going to like about this weekend is I'm not going to be allowed to have my radios, which I do not like.
Yeah.
I think radios are a safety issue. People think it's a cost issue. I said, you can buy a used set of radios for $500. You'll spend that on a dadgum air cleaner that may gain you 2 horsepower versus a radio setup that might save your race car.
Yeah. What about pit boards?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have to run a receiver, which I hate even more because I'm driving along and all of a sudden somebody in my ear that I don't know goes, well, and I'm having to try to pay attention to what he's saying and drive the car at the same time instead of my spotter. But anyway, I just like the idea of radios much better because they're going to allow them, I think, this year in pure stock, which I'm 100% for because it will save race cars. If somebody's outside, I watched Ben Cranford drive across the nose of a 15 car track champion last year, Loper. Yeah. And if Loper hadn't been a nice guy, Ben shit would have been tore all to pieces, and I mean destroyed. He wasn't even past the fender. Ben just made a right turn, and Loper backed out and let him in. If he'd had radios outside, he would have known he was there, because sometimes the mirror, you can't see him.
No.
So that could have been a bad situation for Ben. But thank goodness, Loper is actually a clean driver. Even though he dumped me at the Derby, he didn't do it on purpose. He's normally a very clean race car driver. So, that's all water under the bridge with me and him, and I'm over it. But I'm just stating the fact that radios save race cars. And people say you can't run them. And people go, well, if you can run a mirror, run that, you'll mirror drive people. Well, people are going to do that anyway, and your spotter doesn't drive your race car. You drive the car. You make the decision whether you want to block somebody or not. And what happens when you get wrecked and you block them and it's your fault, then you got to accept responsibility. You can't blame the spotter.
Yeah.
Unless a couple of times when Frank's not said anything and I'm like, okay, is this car still out there? I can't see him. Okay, drive down the corner, come off the corner. Don't drive all the way to the wall because you don't know if he's out there.
Right.
So,
well, we're going to catch up with all that.
Oh yeah,
and then some next week. But guys, we've got a lot of schedules coming up. We were going to be throwing that out there week after week, like we've been preaching. Going on 2 years now. It's a short turnaround.
Very.
We've not really had any breaks because we have continuous short track racing going on weekly, New Year or end of the year. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
And here we are talking about the new year here, coming up with Jim going down to New Smyrna. So it's so cool to get together with you guys. And we do want to say, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and please be safe and have a Happy New Year.
Ditto.
Call an Uber if you're going to be drinking. Do not drink and drive. Do not ruin your...
The New Year is not, that's not the way to start the New Year, for sure.
Yours or somebody else's. You could ruin somebody else's real quick, too.
Yeah, you can hurt yourself, too. But ain't you got something you want to talk about, Ted?
Oh, yeah. There
Yes.
was something, an unfortunate incident that came up in Okaloosa County, not too far away. We're big supporters of the Back in the Blue and the Green, which happen to be
Amen.
sheriff's deputies. Corporal Ray Hamilton responded to a domestic violence situation, which they all say is the worst thing that you have to deal with on a daily basis whenever you're in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, in the melee, he was shot and killed. And we just want to say thoughts and prayers to him and his families and friends and his coworkers and all that, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and his end of watch was Christmas Eve, December the 24th. It's a shame we lose so many law enforcement officers to criminals.
Yes.
And just prayers to all of them, and just please, you guys in the thin blue line, stay safe. Yes. Watch your back, watch your partner's back, please.
Yeah, and they all do their job, and my hat's off to them every time I see them on a daily basis. I make a special effort to thank them for their service.
Yep.
Regardless if it's green, blue, yellow, purple, it doesn't matter. If they are serving our community, my hat's off to them, and I thank them for that every day.
Yep. God bless all of them.
Well, guys, thank you. It's always so awesome to see you guys show up on a Wednesday and talk short track racing and throw tributes out and thoughts and prayers to everybody that we can come up with. Thank you. I mean,
Yep,
and everybody that's listening, their support is our motivation. That's what keep us going. And I don't know whenever. Can we do it all together this time?
Well, I think so.
All together.
1, 2,
3. Let's go, Brandon.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Please stay safe and have a great time. And thank you for listening. We appreciate another great 2023. We're looking forward to it.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.